All right, guys, welcome back. Today we're going to multiply matrices. So this is a new one. There is a mechanic to it. I'll show you how to do this on Friday when I'm in class. And for now, let's just go ahead and walk through what we're looking at for multiplying matrices. Now, if I just give you a matrix, let's say a 5, a 6, a 0, and a 1, and I put a 2 out front. This is what's known as a scalar. This was in the last lesson in the last quiz that we did. And all this means is that I'm going to multiply 2 to everything. But the way I want you to think about this is a 1 by 1 matrix. And this is a 2 by 2 matrix. And so when you have a 1 by 1 times a 2 by 2, it's just 2 times everything. But if I take two matrices that are different sizes, that are more than just 1 by 1, and I go to multiply these bad boys, the mechanics of it are considerably different. You don't just step in the game and multiply every number to every number. And so the first thing that you have to recognize is that some numbers you can multiply together, some matrices you can multiply together, and some you can't. The trick here is, and they're showing it to you right here in this example, if I have a 2 by 3 matrix, that means 2 rows by 3 columns, and I want to multiply that to a 2 by 4 matrix, that would be bad news. And the way you can tell is the numbers in the middle have to match. So the columns of the first matrix have to match the rows of the second matrix. All right, so if I get all my sloppy chicken scratch out of the way here, and we actually look at the problem that they're giving us. This first matrix here just happens to be a 2-row by 3-column matrix, and they want to multiply that by 3 rows times 4 columns. And if you notice, the numbers in the middle match. All right, so I have this 3 by 3 matrix, or I'm sorry, the 3's in the middle. The columns, the columns in the first row match the rows in the second row. And so those are allowed to be multiplied together. Another trick here, if I have a 2 by 3 times a 3 by 4, and the numbers in the middle match, then our answer will be a 2 by 4 matrix. And that will happen every single time. If we scroll over here to this other example, this is, oops, fix my small board. I got to get used to that. The C matrix is going to be 3 rows by 2 columns, and the D matrix is going to be, so times 3 rows by 5 columns. The numbers in the middle do not match, and so they're calling this not defined. We might also say that it's not possible if we run with the logic that we had from the last quiz is not possible. And I mean, you could use does not exist, undefined, not defined, null set. There's a lot of different ways to say it, but we'll probably use the word not possible. So in the end, I've got this note here. If you want to write that down somewhere in your notes, the columns must equal the rows in order to multiply matrices. Otherwise, the answer is going to be not possible, which is a perfectly good answer on your quiz or something along those lines. Okay, let's go ahead and look at another example. The gravy problem on this quiz, the easy one on this quiz, is just going to be tell me whether or not you're allowed to multiply them. So if I give you a matrix that happens to be a 2 by 5, this is suggesting 2 rows by 5 columns, and they're not even giving you the matrix. It's just telling you the dimensions. It's saying that matrix P is a 2 by 5 and matrix Q is a 5 by 3. And they're asking you, are you allowed to multiply P times Q? And all you have to decide is whether or not you're even allowed to multiply. The answer is going to be yes, or it's going to be no, not possible. Yes is possible. No, it's not possible. So let's go ahead and check into that. If P is a 2 by 5 times Q, which is a 5 by 3, the numbers in the middle do match. There, I've got 2 5s. And so our answer matrix will be a 2 by 3. I should use an X. Our answer matrix will be a 2 by 3 matrix. So those are the dimensions of the answer. So when you multiply a 2 by 5 to a 5 by 3, it reduces down to a 2 by 3 matrix. That's how that works. And yes, it is possible. I may ask you on the quiz, what are the dimensions of the answer matrix? And you would just tell me, Mr. Studer, it's a 2 by 3 matrix. Good stuff. All right, let's keep moving. The next one is asking us to multiply matrix R to matrix S. So matrix R is a 4 by 3 times matrix S, which happens to be a 4 by 5. Even though they both have the same number of rows, that's not something we're gonna do. Why didn't it hit that button there? So 4 by 3 times a 4 by 5, the numbers in the middle do not match, so this is not possible. Go team. All right, I'm going to put a couple more questions on the board. Here, we'll set these up here. Question number 1A, 1B, and 1C. I'm going to pause for a second. Now, if you didn't catch on to that, you should have hit pause yourself. Tried 1A, 1B, 1C. I don't have to wait too long because this is virtual and you can just hit pause and do your thing. But let's go ahead and do the math now. So hopefully you tried this on your own. Hopefully you have your own answers before I go ahead and reveal what the answers are going to be. Try it yourself. Don't wait until the quiz to try it for the first time. Let's see if you can do it on your own. If we're doing Q times P, I'm going to start with Q, which is a 5 by 3 matrix. I'm going to multiply P to it, which is a 2 by 5 matrix. The numbers in the middle do not match. Not possible. Perfectly good answer on a quiz. S times R. S is a 4 by 5. R is a 4 by 3. Numbers in the middle do not match. So once again, not possible. All right, let's go ahead and do S times Q. And so for S times Q, we have a 4 by 5 times Q, which is a 5 by 3. All right. And so for this particular one, the numbers in the middle do match. So our answer will be a 4 by 3 matrix. Those are dimensions. So yes, it is possible. And the answer would be a 4 by 3 matrix. So that's how that works. We have now, the next video, we're going to go into how to actually multiply two matrices together and what would the answer look like. But this is the first question on your quiz. Can you do it or can't you do it? And then after that, we'll actually do the math. So we'll see you on the next video. Go team.